acting all the time, not just when you're at the microphone, right? That makes our show amazingly interesting for the audience to watch, so it's really important. But let's talk for a second about what parts you could have in the show. I brought some pictures of them. Okay, so most of you know these people. You might have heard of Jasmine,
Yeah.
right? Someone in this class is going to be Jasmine. Maybe you've heard of Aladdin,
No.
right? Unless you've been living under a rock.
No, I don't.
Raja, and then hello, we all know the genie's so the Sultan was in the movie, but in our show, we actually have a Sultana. This is Jasmine's mom. She's a really cool part of the show. And then we have all these guys that are, oh, Jafar, let's not forget about him. But then we have these people who you might recognize their faces, but we gave them different names.
Oh no. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we gave them different names. So what's her real name?
Joy.
But in our show, she's going to be
Bliss.
Bliss. This is,
Sadness.
and another name for sadness is?
Melancholy.
So if you get to be this person, your name will be Melancholy. We have
Anger.
which also known as
Fury.
So we changed their names to make them a little bit cooler than they already were. This one is one that I didn't know until today. Antipathy. And antipathy means the same as yes, disgust. So it's like ew, antipathy. Ew. Okay. And I think that sounds really cool. I love that name. And then we have, instead of fear, we have phobia. Do you like that one? I like that one. Okay. So these are all people you can be. They're all in the show, and they're all going to come from this class. But let's talk about all the people you didn't know were going to be in the show. Okay. We have all the Olympians. So raise your hand if you have ever studied or read Greek mythology. Okay, let's talk about some of their stories. They have awesome stories. Might as well start with this dude, Zeus. Who is Zeus? Who can raise their hand? Who is it? Yeah, he's the king of Mount Olympus, whereas all the immortals live. Okay, so he's the boss. Don't get on his bad side. Okay. Then we have Hades, and who is Hades? Lord of the underworld. So he's in charge of all the spirits and whatnot. Okay, and he's not such a nice guy. Sorry. And then we have Poseidon. What's Poseidon's story, Matea? Yeah, he's king of the sea. So he gets to ride around on dolphins, which is like the coolest thing ever. Maybe not in our show. We don't have any dolphins in our show. I'm sorry to disappoint. But, okay, then let's talk about these guys up here. Have you ever heard of Athena? What is Athena?
She's the goddess of like war and like wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh,
Wisdom. Yes. So, yeah, I'll put my finger over here. Any of you feeling particularly wise today?
Not really. No.
If you are wise and you like to tell other people how much smarter than them you are, you might want to be Athena in our play. Then we have Hera. Who's Hera? Jake.
Queen of the gods.
Queen of Mount Olympus. Yes, and she's kind of jealous, right? Because everybody else is younger than her. Darn it. Then we have Artemis. Who's Artemis?
She's the goddess of the moon and hunting.
So, any of you night owls in class? Anybody like to stay up late? Not Miss Melody. I don't stay up late, so I couldn't be Artemis, but maybe one of you could. Then we have Aphrodite. And tell us who Aphrodite is.
She's the goddess of love.
And beauty, love and beauty. Aww. So, obviously, I would be Aphrodite. No, just kidding. Just kidding! One of you guys are going to make a wonderful Aphrodite. Okay, it gets harder. Here are some more people that we're going to have in our play. Okay, Iris. Anyone know her story? Kate.
Goddess of the rainbow.
Ding, 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 ding. Bravo. So she's the one that gets to say rainbow pose during yoga class, because she's goddess of the rainbow. Then her name is spelled funny. It's pronounced Gia. Okay, Gia is this lady. Anyone know who she is, Mateo?
I'm gonna guess goddess of night.
Close, close. She's like Cammy.
She's Earth.
She is. This is Mother Earth. Gia, Mother Earth. So if anyone loves like little baby animals and taking care of things, maybe you would would want to be Gia, who's Mother Earth. Okay, we have Demeter. Macy, tell us who Demeter is.
She's the goddess of planting.
Yeah, of the harvest. Does anyone have a vegetable garden at home? Anyone? Okay, raise your hand if everything you plant at your house does. That's me. Okay, so I couldn't be Demeter, but maybe you guys do. Then, this one's a good one. Nemesis. Anyone know her story? Kylie?
I'm gonna guess she's a nemesis to everybody.
Close. She is the queen of revenge and justice. So she's always making sure that people get what they deserve. Okay? So she's the one that says revenge is so sweet. Okay? Then we have Persephone. What's Persephone's story?
She's like the god of gardening.
Close. So Persephone is Demeter's daughter, and Hades plays a trick on Persephone. He lures her down to the underworld, and Demeter goes down to the underworld to say, "You got to give me my daughter back." And he says, "Okay, she can come back to Mount Olympus, but only if she hasn't eaten anything." And turns out she ate 6 pomegranate seeds while she was in the underworld. So her story ends with she has to spend 6 months in the underworld and 6 months back in Mount Olympus. And that's why we have 6 months of warm weather is when she's up in Mount Olympus. So Demeter's happy, which is why everything grows. And then we have 6 months of winter, which is when she's down in the underworld. And Demeter, her mom, is very sad. Okay. All right, moving on. We have Psyche. She is the queen of like thought and everything. Okay, and then we have Echo. Echo has a funny story. She falls in love with.
She falls in love with I can't remember his name.
She falls in love with a guy named
Narcissus.
Narcissus, who doesn't love her back. He's only in love with himself. Okay, and he's the one that takes all the selfies. So poor Echo, he'll never love her. Then we have Pandora. You've probably heard of Pandora. What's her story?
So she opens a box and lets all the bad feelings out, like jealousy and hatred out to the world.
Yeah, so she has this little box and they tell her you can't ever open it, but she is so curious she has to open it and find out what's inside, and it turns out like jealousy and anger come out. But there's one more thing that comes out. Anyone know what that is? Hope, that's right. Hope also comes out of the box, which makes all the bad things we can deal with. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the fates. These guys are past, present, and future, and they're the ones that cast the spell on Mimi the genie. Okay, so to give you guys an idea of what all these say, these are all some of the characters that are going to be in our show. And I'm going to let you guys pick your favorites, but I thought it might be good to learn what they talk about first, now that you know their stories.